you go in a sports facility, right? And then, or you go to school or you go for training. Yeah. So you understand that when I'm walking in the school, or when I'm walking in the gym, I'm being trained. Okay. Right? So you trust a coach, right? And there's an end goal. The coach's goal is to make you better, right? How is he going to make you better?
By training you, teaching you certain things, right. Routine.
So would he always put you in comfortable situations, or
no, not at all?
Right. So if that's the context, then you see that there's going to be up and down. There's going to be time for
But then you're
rest.
Training for something.
What
are we training for?
Exactly. Good.
Exactly. Do you have to train for the afterlife?
No.
Yeah.
No. So that's one thing, right? Now here's another thing. Okay, when you have to, select people, right, based on their learning ability, based on their discipline. Okay. How do you select people?
Based on the discipline?
Yeah. So whenever you have to select people, how do you select? How does selection happen?
Well, it depends what you're selecting them for.
Right. But in general, what's the mechanism for selecting?
I don't know, discipline and stuff like that.
Okay. So like, for example, when Canada was selecting or choosing to give you a driving license or not, what did they do?
Oh, a test.
Test, right? Yeah. So you have training and you have test, right? And then you have another thing, which is learning. Okay. So you may go for a driving test, you may fail the test, but you learn from your mistake and then you go back. Yeah. Right? So there's three components: training, learning, testing, and also like knowledge, right? I mean, which is part of training, right? So teaching. Right? So that's the context of this world, and that's very important to understand. Okay. Because this is very common, right? Why is there pain in this world? Why do I have individually, ups and downs in my life? Yeah. And why do other people also suffer? So how do you understand the whole thing? So if we realize that this whole thing is part of training and development and testing, then it all makes sense. So what happens is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us knowledge. Right? So the fundamental knowledge is there that this is what we should do when it comes to our lives, and this is what we should do when it comes to other people. Right? That knowledge also comprises of our direct worship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How should we make money? How should we spend money? How should we use our money to help other people? Right? Okay. So when these ups and downs happen, they train us and they test us in different ways. Okay. So for example, like you may realize that look, some people, and that's kind of connected to your next question as well. Like some people, they are good when times are tough.
They're good.
They're humble.
They're
humble. Yeah. They will, go to mosque. They will worship Allah. They will bow down to God, right? Yeah. They will make dua to God. They will ask Allah for help. Yeah. Right. They're also caring. They're not arrogant. They have time for other people. They will spend time with their parents. Yeah. When things turn around and they start thinking, "Oh, I'm self-sufficient."
Oh, because they think the success is all because they did it. Like they're good.
They think success is because of me. They can't see any failure down the road. Yeah. Like they're like, you know what? I've got enough money that even if I don't make any more money, I'll be good.
Which is probably why the correlation between like people there's a correlation like the more money you make, the less like religious you are. Yeah. Sort of like in most cultures, it's like if you look at the richest people in the world, they're not the most religious people. True. They might say they're Christian, but they don't really practice. Right. They're not as religious because they think they're self-sufficient and that they're genius and aware that they have a lot of money, they live in abundance, and their life is sort of like heaven already.
Exactly. In a strange world. There's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean in general, right? Yeah. Especially if you don't believe in it, right?
Yeah.
So, so that's a very interesting thing. So people who are rich, powerful, and famous. Yeah. So two things happen in general, like if you want to generalize it. One is they are so happy and they keep drowning into their happiness and their addiction to have more of it. Okay. Right? So in that case, they're happy just chasing more of it. Yeah. Or they have had enough and they don't find that inner peace.
Okay, but what do you say religion is usually targeted towards those who are poor?
Yeah, the people who are poor.
Who need something to look forward to. Even people that are lower middle class, like how I grew up, still like first world country poor. There's different classes of poor. Right. And then even like those that are middle class, they're like borderline religious, but they only go to like church or something on holidays or stuff like that.
In general, yes, that's true. Yeah. So I'm saying that like So within the rich class as well, like when people realize that look, they don't find that inner happiness,
then they become very spiritual.
Yes.
Or religious. Well,
or there's another way. There's third extreme too. So they either become spiritual / religious, or the third thing is what they try to escape by drugs and alcohol.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the bad stuff.
Right. So they just don't want to think about it, and then as soon as my mind is going, but those things are good, right? Allah plays those triggers so that we can think.
Got it.
But what we try to do is try to shut it down. So, anyways, coming back to the point is that once you realize that, look, this is all, like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, let's say if you're in trouble for a month or half a year, you know, in the grand scheme of things, this is nothing.
Fraction of time. Even 100 years is a small fraction of time.
Right. It's a very small fraction of time, and the test is like, you know, it shows you, right? And actually, not the other way. I mean, the other way is also true. Some people, when they're tested with calamity, they're like, oh, why did God do this to me? I'm not going to worship God.
Yeah.
Right? So it goes either ways.
Yeah, because at that point you start blaming your creator.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, usually I'm like, I walk around, I'm just usually mad at the world for like, just because, you know, but there's some, like the world is sort of like, I'm more optimistic in general, but there are a lot of bad things. And then I look at the world like, why is this like this? Why is that like that? But then I'm optimistic to the point where there must be a reason.
Right.
And then if this book is the answer, it might be the answer. I just have a hard time committing saying, this is the answer, I know for sure.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know for sure? But then the thing is, you don't really know for sure. It's really, that's where hope comes in, or faith. That's where you have faith. Because with the Quran, you can't know 100% without having, unless you're faithful and like, unless you have some degree of hope.
True. So there are evidences that shows you the truth of the book as well.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, there are many different evidences. So we'll come to that, we'll do a recap of that as well. But does that make sense to you? That, like, look, this is a Quranic understanding that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالْخَيْرِ وَالشَّرِّ فِتْنَةً. That we test you with good things and evil things, and this is just a trial.
Okay.
So that answer is from Quran.
So this is the trial.
Yes, so it's going to be, everything is a trial. Goodness is trial, tough times is trial, easy times are trial, health is trial, wealth is trial.
Does it ever talk about what heaven looks like or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, so heaven is described using the terminologies that we can relate to.
Got it.
But nothing in heaven is going to be something that we have ever seen, ever heard, ever even thought of.
So we can't even like, we can imagine it, like, but we can't. We're not going to really know until we see it.
Right. So you can imagine the best vacation that you can think of, right? And then you can just imagine like 100x of that, right? So obviously that's beyond your imagination, but like, you know, even like the best vacation of this world, right? Like the best resort that you can be at, the best island that you can be at.
Yeah.
And then you have full health, full energy, your loved ones are around you, nobody's jealous of you.
But then people do debate sometimes, like they say, well, being a vacation 24/7, if that was an option, some people won't even like that.
Exactly.
Some people need the contrast of work life. Like if it never rains, you're not going to appreciate the sun. That whole analogy.
Great.
But then having to be just like a mixture of that, which is why I had like a little theory that we currently live. Some people, I currently think some people live like heaven on earth. Some people live in heaven.
Okay.
But that's a little bit, you know, going against what the book says. But if I look at the life of someone like Jay-Z, I would say he lives a perfect life. He experienced a lot of adversity in the beginning, and then throughout that he came out of that, and now he has this great perspective, and he lives a perfect life.
Okay, what would happen in 10 years or 20 years?
When he dies?
Yeah, so if he dies suddenly, that's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
But the whole process where your body's getting weaker and weaker, and then you die.
Yeah, I don't know what happens after you die.
Yeah, but I'm saying that even that transition into death, right? That itself is not perfect life. The transition itself, right? When you become weaker, let's say people were 50 years old, 60 years old, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, right? The whole transition that happens and how you become weaker.
Maybe when you die, your energy just goes to like something else, like the Amazon rainforest or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can have all these maybes, but they're not.
But then that's the thing. There's a bunch of maybes. But then how do you know for sure? When you don't know for sure, then you have to have that leap.
I'm coming to
Yeah.
So,
but how do you get that hope? Like for me, I don't have I'm optimistic, but I don't have that much hope or faith, which just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because as an optimist, I should have a lot of faith. Right. As an optimist, I'm like, okay, I might believe this book, but what about this book? this book might be, but this story might be more believable than this story. So I'm going to believe in this, but then I don't know 100%. I need to have more faith in the Quran. I'm like 90% sure, but then that 10% is a big tip. That 10% is a decent. I have to be 100% sure. You said I can't be 99.99. I can't be 99.
But this is again very legalistic thing, right? I mean, the faith goes up and down as well, right? So I wouldn't put a percentage on that.
Oh, that's your iman, right?
Yeah.
The iman is faith.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I remember that.
That's good. Very good.
All right, that's good.
I like that.
All right.
Good. Okay. Look. So it's 2 points you're saying, right? So yeah. So there's two things. One thing that I'm going to say, look, I can't give you faith, right? What we can do is I can prove it to you, inshallah, that there's no irrational concept in Islam. That Islam, the whole concept of Islam is coherent and it's logical.
Would it be? I think the thing for me is the prayers.
Yeah. But
sorry, that in my head, because it's so much easier. Think about like the way, not just me, but how most people grow up Christian.
Yeah.
Different like variation of Christian, Baptist, whatever. But to be a Christian, you just go to church once a week.
Yeah.
Sunday, you chill there, listen to some nice music, and you're chilling. And then you only pray at dinner time and at nighttime or in the morning. Yeah. That's it. That's it. To be, Muslim, subscribe, like you have to pray 5 times a day. You got to learn Arabic. If you don't already know Arabic, you got to do it in a formal way. You need like a prayer mat. Like that's a lot.
You don't need a prayer mat.
I already have one, but yeah.
But you don't need you can pray right here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, but then you got to make do all that stuff. If I'm a Christian, this is just like convenience because that's human beings with like convenience, right? Yeah. I'm not saying I'm lazy. I'm just saying convenience.
So which type of people go for convenience?
Everyone. Okay. You're gonna say least successful, whatever. But
what is a lazy person?
A lazy person is just someone who wants to do something, but they just don't have the energy to do it. They just say, well, I'm just saying it's easier. Technically,
of course,
it's easier, more convenient to be Christian than to be Muslim. Yeah. Which is what I'm saying. If I gotta pray 5 times a day and then learn these prayers, even if I memorize the prayer and everything, I still gotta stop and like pray 5 times a day is a lot of times. That's a lot. So I think that's my biggest thing.
Okay, so we'll come to that.
Besides anything else, that's the biggest.
So that's it. So what I'm saying is you've raised 3 very important things. Yeah. And let's tackle it one at a time.
Yeah.
Right. So that you don't. So number one, what you were saying earlier. So I can't give you faith. You can't buy faith.
How do you get faith?
Right. So what we can do is I can help you see that look, Islam is coherent. Okay. Because God says that if the religion is not from God, you'll find many contradictions, right? In general, it's talking about the book, but the same thing applies. If it's a man-made thing, you will find contradictions.
Got it.
So I and you can discuss and see that, look, Islam is coherent, there's no contradiction. Okay? That part we can do. Now, how do you get faith? You get faith by your own sincerity and you asking. Faith is a light. It's a gift. It's a light that God gives you.
It's not to ask for it.
Yes, you have to ask for it. You have to also make an attempt for it. Right? Okay. So, for example, if you see that, look, based on what's available to me,
that's sort of like what you're saying. In terms of like, this is interesting for religion because I start praying and you're saying you're asking for it, but you're also working towards it a little bit.
Yeah.
So religion is almost in a way is like law of attraction. In a way.
Yeah.
And if you break down like quantum physics and all that stuff, it's pretty much that because all the possibilities, like if you ask God for something, you're asking that higher power. Which, see, this brings me back to my whole theory that God is like a quantum computer, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying God. If God's all knowing, or God is quantum to the fullest.
But
when you ask Him for something, then He might just give it to you or like connect you to that parallel universe, that different vibration.
But see that what you're not trying to see. If you go back to the earlier thing I was saying, that it's not about just getting something. It's also about developing into something.
Okay, and also appreciating what you have already.
So once you struggle for it, then you appreciate it and you actually get ready to get it too. Because again, if God wanted to give everybody, God has already done that, right? So angels, they have perfect faith and they have perfect action. So they understand, they believe, and they do what God tells them.
Yeah, or it's like I can ask God for a car or something, but then I got to be ready to have a car. Yeah. I got to get a license. I got to do the test, the training, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that you, for example, you say, okay, how do I know this book is not true and this book is true and what all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you have to use the compass that God has given you, right? Just like this phone, right? It recognizes my finger, right? Your system also recognizes what is true. So right now, I mean, I said like, yeah, just bring any book, right? First and foremost, the most important thing I think, like no book even claims that I'm from God. Like there's no like, so if I was having a long discussion with my Christian friend, like when I went to Seattle, like 4 hours of chat, right?
Oh, nice.
So he's practicing, like even when we were traveling, he went to a church service, right? So I like him from that angle. I mean, on other angles too, but I appreciate this of him. So the point is that, okay, so the book that you're following, okay, so like who wrote that book? What is the criteria? Like, so any page you pick, right? So right now, if you pick any page of Quran, there's a criteria that look, we say that God communicated this and it's verbatim preserved, and this is how it was preserved, right? So the Christian manuscripts or the Gospels and Bibles, they have different criteria for it.
There's a bunch of different versions of the Bible.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not coming 100% going back to Jesus, peace be upon him. Right? And or any other religion. So there's no other book. Like, I mean, there's no.
I have an important question.
Yeah.
What is it with Muslims and Jews? I know there's something, and I know like you guys are like, you believe in the same thing.
Yeah.
But then it's like appearing like the Muslims are gonna like take over the lands the Jews have, or something crazy.
Yeah.
So what is it? Sorry, just a side note.
Yeah.
What is that?
So
because I like the Jewish people. I have a lot of Jewish friends and accountants, and I just want to know.
It's fine. You can still work with them.
Yeah, I can still work with them, but I need to know what's up.
Okay. So, but can we just complete this point of like how do you know Islam is true?
Because I'll save that for
I'm stacking it up for you.
Okay.
So what we were saying is that, look, how do you know Islam is the truth, right? So you have to see that, look, first of all, this is the only book that even claims it, right?
Okay.
Then the question of, who is my God, right? You go to Quran and say, Quran, tell me about God. Right? It gives you this clear example. Like, you don't have to make a quantum computer or anything. Say, look, God is someone you cannot think of. He's perfect in every aspect. He sees everything. He hears everything.
I didn't say God was someone. I said God is something that is quantum.
Yeah, I understand what I'm saying, but you don't have to, because God himself is telling you about it.
In my head, sorry, that's how I break down. For it to make sense to me, I'm like, okay, God can't be a person.
Yeah.
It has to be an entity, something.
Yeah.
I'm saying, okay, God is probably some sort of energy, vibration, quantum, something quantum that I don't understand. And yeah, that's what I'm praying to.
Yeah.
Which could,
But when okay, so what God says is that God is not like anything that you can think of. So he is not a quantum computer.
No.
He's not that quantum.
I think that's like the closest comparison.
Yeah.
So you say that's the closest comparison?
No,
sorry, you don't have to agree. That's just how I break it.
Yeah, that's fine. You can think about it.
That gives me like peace of mind.
Yeah. So so God is like you can't think about God, right? I mean, you cannot compare God to anything, right? But what we know of his attributes is that he knows everything, he sees everything, he hears everything, and he's fully aware of everything that will happen, that has happened, that is happening.
Got it.
Right? Now you can go to any other philosophy or what have you and say, hey, what is your concept of God?
Yeah.
Right? And then you can compare those concepts in terms of clarity, in terms of comprehensiveness, in terms of perfection.
But if I find a contradiction, I can ask you about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that stuff is good, right? Because then it's here.
Okay. I don't really know. Yeah, I don't really know. Well, I have to read it. So that's the thing.
But right now,
I haven't read like the book yet.
Yes.
I need to know how many pages it is.
But I mean, you're getting to the main important question, which is like, what does Quran say about God?
Yeah.
Right? Is God ever living? Does he die? Does he, put other people in trouble for other people? Whatever.
Yeah,
right? So you can get those type of things. So that's one. That, and then the comprehensive nature of that book, right? Okay. So the other miracles that we talked about, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, so basically, because you were saying, okay, how do I know which book, right? So you kind of compare the core messages, right? And
the composition is not that good when it comes to religion. It's like, when you really look at it, which is why I always talk to you and stuff, it's like, okay, you got Islam, Christianity, like you can't, the Bible's just like, so it's obviously going to be Islam's like up there with what about Buddhism?
What is
I asked you about Buddhism before.
Yeah, I don't know. You tell me.
I don't even know if there's a book for that. I don't know.
I mean, as far as I know, it's more of a way of life as opposed to religious.
I think Buddhism is more spiritual rather than religious.
Yeah. So it's not even claiming it to be, right.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not even saying that, okay, I'm this is a message from God.
Yeah.
Per se. Okay, now, and the next thing that you were asking about, like some people, right? So if you understand that, what we were saying about earlier about the test and the comprehensiveness of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's for everybody has different sorts of challenges,
okay.
right? So, some people may be good at praying, all that sort of stuff, but when it comes to money,
mm-hmm.
they're very greedy, right?
Yeah.
They're very stingy.
Yeah.
So you may not find someone who's like 100%. Have the same level of strength all across the board.
Okay.
Right? In some areas they may be strong,
mm-hmm.
in some areas they may be weak,
okay.
and that's very normal. So, for example, if you go and you see somebody praying in the mosque, that doesn't mean that they're the most trustworthy person for business.
Yeah.
Or they're the most trustworthy person for marriage.
Okay. Yeah.
That's also very important, right? I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, okay, this is a very religious person, religious brother, religious sister, and then you get married, like, oh, he has this problem, right? He doesn't take care of the home.
Yeah.
He's very lazy. He doesn't wake up. Has backbites.
Because you make that assumption, since they subscribe to this religion, they must be this a quality person because they follow these rules. But maybe they follow some rules and then maybe they contradict themselves.
Exactly.
Maybe that's what.
So that doesn't mean that they're not sincere, right? So it's different. Some people are sincere
mm-hmm.
and they just struggle with certain areas.
Yeah.
Like everybody struggles, right?
Yeah.
And some people are not sincere, they just pretend.
Okay.
And also these different scenarios, they actually expose you. A good person, a smart person will say, okay, look, I'm getting into this scenario, these places I'm good, but these scenarios I'm not good in. So how do I become stronger in these other scenarios as well? Right? So that's what, for example, Shaitan was all fine,
mm-hmm.
but when it came to agreeing or approving and honoring somebody else, then he was exposed.
What happened with Satan? Or Shaitan? How do you say Shaitan?
Yeah, it's our biggest Shaitan.
What happened to Shaitan? Like he was an angel, right?
He was an angel. Because angels don't disobey God. Remember, angels don't disobey God.
Okay, but from the Bible, I just know he was an angel, but apparently he wasn't. He was I don't know.
Yeah, so good. So this is very important. So it's Quran gives you that answer.
Okay.
So look, angels do not disobey God, period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Shaitan or Iblis or Satan,
mm-hmm.
he was a creation that had a free will.
He was a human?
No.
He was just a creation.
He was a different type of creation.
He was an alien.
Yeah, he was an alien.
Okay. Yeah.
We gotta use comics for you, right?
Okay, yeah. He was an alien.
So he was an alien that had that free will.
Good.
Right? Now, he was using his free will to worship God. To a point that he was in the noble company of angels. Okay? Now, when God created or told them that I'll be creating another creation,
mm-hmm.
which is a human being, and they will also have free will, and he made them superior over angels and said, look, I'm giving them free will, they have knowledge, so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Satan was asked to bow down to him because he was among the angels, right?
So he was asked to bow down to Allah, to God.
No, to Adam.
To Adam.
Yeah.
The human.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that's where it's like, okay, I can't obey this order.
Did Shaitan? So you questioned God and said, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm better than him. Why should I prostrate to him?
Did he have a reason for why he was better than him?
Well, okay, that's one thing. Number one, anybody can come. Anything that you want to do, you can always come up with a reason.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like even the worst killer would have a reason.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I did this, blah, blah, blah. Anybody can have a reason, right? Is that acceptable or not? Is that logical or not? That's a different point.
Yeah, then it's a debate where is it a good reason or is it a stupid?
Yeah, and then, when God, the one who is the honor of all majesty and all power and all might, is saying, I'm choosing to honor this person,
mm-hmm.
I mean, what can be a reason
so
against
all
it?
you had to do was bow down to?
Yeah.
Bow down to Adam?
Yeah.
Okay.
So his logic, by the way, was,
mm-hmm.
oh, I'm created from fire, he's created from mud, and fire is better and stronger, so I'm better than him.
Got it.
right? But that's not what honor. Like it's like somebody saying, oh, you know, I'm from the black race and he's from the white race and we are better. Like, really?
Yeah.
You know. So the whole point is the reason I was saying this thing is that, you know, certain times, certain situations expose what's in your heart.
Yeah.
This arrogance was in his heart from the get-go. It just wasn't exposed.
Until that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes, you know, it's not that, it's just something gets pop out of nowhere, right? It's there, but, you know, it wasn't exposed. So what I'm saying is like some Muslims, they're tested with wealth and family and this and that. They may be good. In certain other scenarios, they're not good.
Okay.
Right? So someone can be, let's say, an amazing Muslim when it comes to family and charity, but doesn't go and pray.
Yeah, it's sort of like me because I'm good when it comes to what I do for a living,
right?
Like trading and stuff and investing. But in everything else, I'm like retarded. So yeah.
I'm not saying about it.
Okay, but yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So the idea is to realize that, hey, you know what, and at least to have a bare minimum standard in every situation, right?
Got it.
And then you can excel. So you may excel in certain things, but certain things are not acceptable. I mean, you can't cheat people in business.
Yeah.
Right? You can say, you know what, I'm just going to do bare minimum charity, right? That's fine. But you can't cheat people. You can't be dishonest. I'm going to do bare minimum prayer. That's fine.
Yeah.
So at least you have that base level, and then you may excel in some areas, and you may not excel.
Yeah, even at the prayers, it's like, okay, I'm going to do this. You might be able to do the bare minimum prayers, but then you have that promise to yourself, like, but I'm going to increase.
Right.
And you're just not going to do the bare minimum forever.
Yeah. So now the other question about the stack was about Jews, right?
Yeah.
So in general, right? I mean, there's no. The point is like, you know, look, Jews, they were given the book of God, and they had a prophet, right? Moses. And we believe in that. We don't think that that it's preserved anymore. We don't think that the law applies to us anymore.
Okay. Because
law is upgraded, right? So for example, like, you know, there's different compliance regulations that come up. Like, you are a trader, right? So you have to follow some compliance regulations.
Yeah.
So the regulations that were in 2018 or 2017, 2015 are not applicable to the other.
So what happened with Moses? He wasn't the last prophet.
Exactly.
So so what the Jews think, he was the last prophet?
I don't know actually what they think, to be honest. So there's two issues. Number one, when Moses was here, and they have it in the book, they were not obeying him either. They were like always questioning Moses too.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I mean, as far as I know, I haven't done it. I was reading one of the books.
Because I saw that movie about Jesus Christ, or even like I know the story, but the movie is really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the movie, the Jews were like they hung him up and the nails in the hands, and they disrespect.
That's Jesus.
Yeah, that was Jesus.
Yeah.
So they disrespect him too.
Yeah. So they clearly I think they claim he's a false prophet. He's not a prophet.
Yeah, and they messed up.
Yeah. So the point is that even Moses, they were not following Moses 100%.
Yeah.
They were even questioning Moses.
Okay, but it's okay to question.
Well, I mean, it's okay to question, like, but if somebody's telling you to do something from God and you don't want to do it, then that's a different thing, right?
Yeah, okay.
So there's a question of understanding and there's a question of rejection.
Okay.
Right? So for example, like, at least, like right now, I mean, if I come to your home and I'm like, I'm not even obeying your orders or your laws or your policies, like, what am I talking about, right? So the world belongs to God.
Yeah.
Right? We are servants of God at the end of the day, no matter what we think about.
Okay, that makes sense.
So that, and then later on, they rejected Jesus, and they rejected other prophets.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there are prophecies. Prophecies are from God via the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
Right. We believe that near the end of times, Jesus, peace be upon him, not Muhammad, peace be upon him. Jesus, peace be upon him, will come back.
Okay.
He will follow the same laws. He will pray the 5 prayers that you are finding hard today.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's gonna pray, right? And if we are alive,
you
know how we pray our Jummah right now, 5 prayers. He will be leading it.
Jesus coming back in 21st century.
I don't know when he's gonna come.
I hope it's this. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. So when at the end of the time it comes, and almost will be obviously under his leadership.
I'm excited for Jesus.
Huh?
I'm excited for Jesus. I want to see him.
There you go. But you're gonna be in the right camp, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be, I'll be the right camp.
Okay. So we'll follow Jesus, and then he will rule the land as well, which means that he will take over other religions and other land, and he will rule on it.
See, that was my next thing. Let's say Jesus comes back. Yeah, it's like he's doing his thing. He's praying. Everyone's like, "Oh, Jesus is like Muslim." then all the Christians, is it too late for them, or is that, can they still?
What? Everybody can. The late is the best, right, in general.
Okay.
So before that, yeah. But what I'm understanding, look, faith is a light, it's a gift, right? It's not like trade.
Okay.
I realized, this stock is doing really well, let me just switch on.
Yeah.
You can't, that's the thing, you will not, right? Something, like imagine this, bro. Like when Jesus was here, he did all these miracles, right? And some people still try to hang them on the crucify him, right?
Yeah.
Even though he did all the miracles.
Yeah, they probably thought he was a witch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everybody can rationalize whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
So it really goes back to how sincere you are. Do you love yourself more, or do you love God more, or do you love your people more, or do you love God more, right? And that's what the biases come from. If you're a truth seeker and you say, hey, you know what? Today, like, look, I don't know. There's maybe like a thing doubt, but to the best of my knowledge, God wants me to pray 5 times a day. He wants me to wake up, before sunrise. I'm gonna do it.
Wake up before sunrise?
Yeah.
That's like, well, now it's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's like 7 p.m.
Yeah, right now sunrise is like 7:30, I think, something like that.
Yeah. That's not bad.
So if you believe that that's what God wants, right? That's the best with God, right?
Yeah.
So imagine, let's say hypothetically speaking, imagine that God doesn't want that.
Okay.
Right? And he wants something else. Right? But if that's the best you know, and you do it for the sake of God, right? Would God ignore you? Would God not lead you to the right path? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, he will lead me to the right path.
Right.
No matter what I do.
Yeah. Because when you're praying, there's no, you're not praying to an object, you're praying to God. Right? That being that we can't really think or see, right? You're not saying, I'm praying to this statue, right? Then it's very limited.
Yeah.
Because when you're praying, what do we say? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praises belong to the Lord of the heavens and the earth, everything, right? So you're doing very generic, very descriptive forms.
Yeah.
So you're praying with that Lord, right?
Yeah.
So today, to the best of your research, that this is what God wants you to do. So because the question was, how do I increase my faith? So do what you know, and He'll give you with more guidance.
Got it. Okay, I think I can do that.
Yeah, because 10 years ago, the best you knew was to go to church and sing.
Yeah.
So you did that.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. And I think maybe that's why God guided you this.
Maybe.
Because you were sincere.
Yeah.
Because you wanted.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah. The point is that when you get clarity, then you upgrade.
Yeah. Now I have clarity. Before, when I was unclear, what screwed up all the clarity was more the brand of it. The brand of, you're this religion, you're this religion, the whole brand of it, when it should be, are you religious or not? What do you believe in? All religions pretty much believe in the same thing. And then
not really.
Not really, but overall, what you're praying to is almost the same thing, just a different slight belief, a different story, which how I broke it down. And then I was trying to.
But that's the thing, not everybody is praying to God. That's very important, right? Because so I had this thing. Look, what is the message of Islam? Who should you love the most?
Allah.
Right? And so that's in your heart. It should be one, right? Okay. In your action, who should be the priority?
In your actions?
Yeah.
What do you mean who should be? Yourself or others?
No, Allah, right?
Allah. So Allah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's this thing that I was talking with my Christian friend.
Yeah.
Right. It's who should I love most? Allah, God, right?
Yeah.
Cool. But when it comes to actual interactions, who are you thinking about more, right? Are you thinking about Jesus help me, Jesus forgive me, Jesus save me?
Yeah.
You're
thinking about yourself a lot.
Yeah. No, is it? Other than yourself, of course.
You should be thinking about, did you disrespect or?
Is it disrespect of God or about Jesus? Right? So that tells you, right, that it's not the same. Taking someone for worship as a very comprehensive terminology, right? You really obey the one, really something that you're really afraid of that one, right? You really want to please that one. So for me, it's not about pleasing Muhammad or asking Muhammad for help or thinking that if Muhammad wants something that can happen, if he doesn't want it, it won't happen.
Yeah.
I'm just going directly to the source. right? So what I'm saying is the action, the practical nature of things, you would see that it does not exist in many religion going to God. It's either do what makes you feel good, so that you're just like self-centered, or it's about some other personality, like Jesus, peace be upon him, or Moses, or whatever.
Okay.
So these are indicators, these are evidences that you can think of. The point I was trying to say is that once you figure out something, once you know that you follow that, and then if God will guide you to a better path, if there is a better path.
Okay, that makes sense. If there is a better path.
Yeah.
And if you deserve that better path.
No, I mean everybody will be shown the path for sure, right? Because you cannot test someone without knowledge, right? Okay. So the only way you test it is like when God gives you knowledge and you realize that okay, it's from God. Now the question is, will I follow that? Will I follow what makes me feel good, or will I follow what my friends feel good?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then now the next thing about 5 prayers, you're like, okay, that's too much. Okay, so you start with something 1 or 2, right? Yeah. So the idea is that over time, it will become an enjoyable experience.
Okay.
So right now, I hope that you are enjoying this company, right? So when you are spending time in the company of God one-on-one, when that faith enters your heart, you will be enjoying it. You will not be thinking like, oh.
I think I'll enjoy it once I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I start to enjoy something you're not good at.
But you have to put an effort to get good at it, right?
Yeah.
And also, I think for you also, and for many others, what is good? Like, what are the metrics?
Like doing it properly, like doing
so
saying a word, but if I mess up on a 1-2 word, that's okay. But if I mess up like a whole phrase,
even then, because see, what I'm saying is you're still focused on cosmetics on the physical side of things. Like if you bring in an Arab who's like perfect voice, like a voice of a singer, whatever, right? He's reciting it perfectly fine, fluent in Arabic, no accent, right pronunciation. Okay, but when he's reading, he's just thinking about like how big is the crowd? What are people thinking about me? Right? Okay. So it's just like self-amused.
As long as you have pure intentions,
you're
trying your best. That's what
so the good prayer is a prayer when you are actually thinking about God. You're like, you're feeling light and you're humbling yourself in front of God, and you're thinking that, hey, I'm praying. I'm actually praying. I'm actually asking God for help. I'm actually thanking God. I've reduced my burden. That's a good prayer.
As long as I can get through it smoothly, then that's it. I just want to like recite it properly. When I say properly, I just mean like don't stumble like every 2 seconds. Just like get through it.
And that's easy. You know that, right? You're a strong man. You can do it.
Yeah, I'll just like go through it. I'll make up a few words if I can't pronounce it properly.
Yeah.
I'm just like.
So what I'm saying is that let's pick any hard sentence. Right now we'll practice it. We can even fix it non-stop.
Right now.
Yeah. So let's take the first one. Alhamdu.
Alhamdu.
Lillahi.
Lillahi.
Rabbil.
Rabbil.
Alameen.
Okay,
so practice that. Alhamdu.
Alhamdu.
Lillahi.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So now, if you say it in one sentence, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
But that's just one sentence.
Yeah, but we spent like 10 seconds on it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm just saying that it's not hard. It's not like really, really hard. You are capable of getting there easily.
It's good. Okay.
But it's just that like you have, what I'm saying, like when you wake up or find a time of the day when you have a good amount of energy, like look, this time is God time. I'm not taking any meeting. I'm not reading any news. I'm not investing. Even if gold is going up and down or Bitcoin is going up and down, I'm gonna let it be.
Okay.
I'm not gonna trade it, just like right now.
Yeah.
So you lock that time, and you can do it. You can come here, you lock it with the teacher, and that's it. At that time, I'm just focused on that, and then you see, okay, look, I got my first one.
That's the training.
Yeah. And you're investing time for the sake of God. Like, okay, let me fix it. Alhamdulillah. Oh, okay, fine. You get it. Like, that's it.
You're my personal trainer.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's good, and bro. It's been like what? Like you converted like 2018, right?
Yeah, I know.
So you can.
I don't have a good history with personal trainers because I just get caught up and sidetracked and other things.
Yeah, I can see that, right? I mean, even when you're asking questions, like, okay, this, and then you jump up and down.
Yeah.
So I have to keep it. But I'm just saying, man, like, it's just like, it's your choice, right? So let's read some Quran, and then we can end up. So you know, pick something randomly.
Oh, I still have that.
Thank you.
I didn't delete it.
This time you didn't delete the app.
Listen, sometimes I gotta delete it.
Why, you run out of space?
One second. Let me know which verse. Which one?
Okay, anything you pick up.
Verse, the seventh one, ArRahmah.
Okay. Chapter 7.
Chapter 7.
Verse number?
Verse number 7.
Verse number 7.
Okay.
All right. So read the translation.
Then verily we shall narrate unto them the event with knowledge, for we were not absent when it came to pass. The weighing on the day is the true weighing. As for those whose scale is heavy, they are the successful.
Okay. So pause. Okay. So here, which event is this talking about?
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day, right? So right away, right? So, you know, you and I may be worried about, like, as you were saying earlier, right? Oh, this issue, health, you know, this, parents, neighbors. But Allah is, boom, taking your focus right away to what really matters, right? That, we're just like narrow-minded, like, you know, on the floor, right? Saying, hey, have a look at where things are going, right? So this kind of, hey, so everything will be weighed, right? So what did I do today, right? How did I mess up with my body that Allah has given me?
But it says those who weigh the heaviest.
Yeah, not the people, their deeds.
Oh, the deeds that weigh the heaviest.
Yes.
So having heavy, that means good deeds.
Yeah.
Okay, so good deeds have weight to it.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting point, actually. So it's not really the number of good deeds, but the weight. So weight is quality, right?
Yeah.
So right now, you know, you and I both pray the Friday prayers, right? And everybody else pray. But if you put the Friday prayers of everyone, it's not gonna be equal. Even though we spend the same amount of time, but there could be difference of like the sky and the earth. Right? Somebody could be really sincere, focused, and somebody like, oh, when is this gonna end? Imam is still talking. Let me rush out. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Next verse.
I'm still reading.
Okay. Let me just recite the thing. وَالْوَزْنُ يَوْمَئِذٍ الْحَقُّ فَمَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Okay. Verse number 9.
Verse 9. And as for those whose scale is light, those are they who lose their souls because they used to wrong our relatives. Revelations.
Right. ومن خفت موازينه فأولئك الذين خسروا أنفسهم بما كانوا بآياتنا يظلمون. Now you can play this in your app too, by the way. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that.
And you see the transliteration. So do you want to try reading the transliteration a bit? The transliteration, just out of curiosity. You see the transliteration?
This one.
Yeah, transliteration. Yeah. What you see? WAMAN.
Yeah.
See, read it.
Walak. I don't know how to say that.
Okay, next one. This last verse.
And we have given you mankind power in the earth and appointed for your therein livelihoods. Little give ye thanks.
وَلَقَدْ مَكَّنَّاكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَجَعَلْنَا لَكُمْ فِيهَا مَعَايِشَ قَلِيلًا مَا تَشْكُرُونَ. Now finally, so verse number 11, right?
Oh, I gotta read that.
Yeah, so because this is interesting. This is exactly what we were talking about.
And we created you, then fashioned you. And then told the angels, fall ye prostrate before Adam, bow down before Adam. And they fell prostrate, bow down, all save Iblis.
Yeah. It's bracket. What does it say in the brackets? Satan, right?
Oh, I don't see that in my head. Okay. Who is not of those who make prostration.
So you see that's what we were talking about, right? So everybody prostrated except she. And then the next one is actually gonna make his argument.
So the next one, he said, "What hindered thee that thou didst not fall prostrate when I bade thee?"
Okay, I need to change the translation if not. There's a simpler one that I selected for you last time.
Oh, okay.
I'll change that.
Said, "I am better than him. Thou createst me of fire, while him thou didst create of mud."
You see their argument?
Yeah. Yeah, trying to say these.
Right. So then God said, you know what, go get down. So let me just recite this and then we'll wrap up. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَاكُمْ ثُمَّ سَوَّرْنَاكُمْ ثُمَّ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ لَمْ يَكُنْ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ قَالَ مَا مَنَعَكَ أَلَّا تَسْجُدَ إِذْ أَمَرْتُكَ قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ خَلَقْتَنِي مِنْ نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ. Okay, so basically, just to wrap up, so we will start using the last goals that we set, remember?
I'm gonna do more writing. I think writing is like the more I write, and it's scientific way you write down, you know, you're gonna retain it.
So I think really you need to block some time.
I need to blog sometime.
Right?
Yeah.
But that will be a study, review, what have you, right?
Yeah.
And you have a whole day to make money.
Yeah.
Are you still going to gym and stuff, or?
No, I haven't worked out since August, September. I'm still in better shape than you. Yeah, I haven't worked out since then.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying, because that also requires discipline, right? That, okay, I'm going to leave my computer, go and work out. So likewise, you need to be unplugged from your computer or whatever.
Okay.
And at least once a week to the masjid, right?
Once a week. I'll treat it like Sundays.
Yeah. If he doesn't come, they'll go and catch him, right?
Friday's the new Sunday. Okay?
Friday?
Friday's the new Sunday because I used to be Christian.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Friday's the new Sunday.
Friday is the day of God.
Yes.
So no drinking on Fridays.
Yes.
I'll drink the day after.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. All right.
Okay, let's close this.
All right. Actually,